What if one of the most powerful things you could do for your heart, your immune system, your blood sugar, and even your brain cost less than $1 a day, and the main ingredient is probably already sitting in your kitchen right now? We're talking about garlic water. Surprising, and before you move on, stick with us for just a moment, because what consistently drinking garlic water does to your body over 30 days is backed by real, peer-reviewed science. And some of it is going to genuinely surprise you. Here's what most people don't know. There's a very specific way to prepare garlic water that unlocks its full benefits, and the vast majority of people who try it skip the most important step entirely, which means they're getting a fraction of the results they could be getting. We'll cover the exact method later in this video. But first, let's walk through what's actually happening inside your body, week by week, when you do this correctly. What makes garlic so powerful in the first place? Before we get into the timeline, it helps to understand what's actually inside garlic that makes it so remarkable. Raw garlic contains a compound called allicin, and here's the key. Allicin doesn't exist in garlic until you crush it. The moment you crush a garlic clove, two separate compounds inside it combine and trigger a chemical reaction that creates allicin. Important, but that reaction isn't instant. It takes approximately 10 minutes to complete after crushing. This means if you crush garlic and immediately drop it into water, or throw it straight into a hot pan, you lose the majority of the benefit before it ever forms. That 10-minute resting window after crushing is not optional. It is the difference between garlic water that genuinely works and garlic water that does very little. This is also why simply cooking garlic into your meals doesn't deliver the same results. Heat destroys allicin before the body has a chance to absorb it. Week 1. What your heart starts to notice. Within the first 7 days of drinking garlic water correctly every morning, something begins shifting in your cardiovascular system. Important. Research has found that allicin works in ways that closely resemble how certain blood pressure medications function. It helps relax the walls of blood vessels, reducing the tension that forces the heart to pump harder than it should. As blood vessels relax and widen, blood pressure begins to ease. The heart literally doesn't have to work as hard to circulate blood through the body. And that's not all. Garlic also has a natural blood thinning effect, meaning it helps prevent blood from becoming overly thick and sticky, which is one of the primary contributors to the dangerous clots responsible for heart attacks and strokes. Important, these effects have been confirmed in real human clinical trials, not just laboratory research on animals. For adults over 50 whose doctors have flagged concerns about blood pressure or cardiovascular risk, this first week is where the foundation begins to shift. By day 14, what's quietly happening inside your arteries? By the end of week 2, something important is happening that you can't feel, but that would be deeply encouraging to see. Garlic is actively working on cholesterol. Surprising. But here's the part that matters most, and that most people don't fully understand. Bad cholesterol on its own isn't the primary danger. The real danger begins when bad cholesterol gets damaged by oxidation and starts sticking to the inner walls of arteries, building up into plaques that eventually narrow the arteries and increase the risk of blockages. Garlic has been shown in research to block this oxidation process, essentially preventing bad cholesterol from becoming the more dangerous, sticky form that adheres to artery walls in the first place. 30 days of garlic water won't undo years of buildup overnight. But research suggests it can meaningfully begin turning things in a better direction, particularly when combined with sensible dietary choices. Weeks 2 and 3, your immune system running in the background. Here's a benefit that often gets overlooked when people talk about garlic, and it may be one of the most practically valuable ones for adults over 50. Garlic has documented antiviral, antibacterial, and antifungal properties. Drinking garlic water consistently is essentially like running a quiet, natural immune support system in the background of your body every single day. Surprising, one well-referenced clinical study followed over 140 volunteers through cold and flu season. Half took garlic daily, half took a placebo. The garlic group experienced significantly fewer colds, and on the occasions when they did get sick, their recovery time was noticeably faster. For older adults whose immune systems naturally become less efficient with age, this kind of ongoing, low-level immune support can make a real difference in how often illness disrupts daily life. Garlic also helps regulate the immune response itself, preventing the immune system from overreacting. This matters because when the immune system chronically overreacts, it creates persistent low-grade inflammation throughout the body. And that inflammation, over time, is quietly connected to some of the most serious health conditions associated with aging. The hidden cause of fatigue, stiffness, and brain fog. This brings us to one of the most important topics in health for adults over 50, chronic low-grade inflammation. Important, research now strongly connects persistent, low-level inflammation to heart disease, type 2 diabetes, cognitive decline, certain cancers, and the general fatigue, joint stiffness, and mental fog that many people quietly accept as an inevitable part of getting older. The key word there is accept, because research suggests it doesn't have to be. Garlic directly targets the cellular signals that keep the body stuck in that chronically inflamed state. This is why many people who commit to daily garlic water for 3 to 4 weeks report reduced joint discomfort, improved exercise recovery, and noticeably sharper mental clarity. Surprising, this isn't placebo. It's inflammation decreasing at the cellular level, and the body being allowed to function the way it was designed to. What garlic does for your gut. Here's another benefit that rarely gets the attention it deserves. Garlic selectively feeds the beneficial bacteria in your gut, while actively suppressing harmful strains, including bacteria that have been linked to stomach ulcers and certain digestive conditions. Important, this matters far beyond digestion alone. Your gut health influences your mood, your body weight, your sleep quality, your immune function, and even how clearly you think. Supporting a healthy gut microbiome is one of the most wide-reaching things you can do for your overall health. Warning, a fair note here, some people experience gas or mild bloating in the first week of daily garlic water. This is actually a sign that the gut microbiome is beginning to shift. If you're sensitive, starting with a single small clove and gradually increasing over a week or two tends to make the transition more comfortable. Blood sugar, the benefit most people don't expect. This may be the most underreported benefit of garlic in mainstream health conversations, and for adults over 50, it's one of the most important to understand. Surprising, research has found that regular garlic consumption helps the body handle blood sugar more efficiently. Cells become more responsive to insulin, meaning the body needs to produce less insulin to do the same job. Blood sugar spikes after meals become smaller and more gradual. Studies reviewing multiple human trials found consistent, meaningful reductions in fasting blood glucose, the number your doctor checks after an overnight fast, with regular garlic intake. For adults dealing with prediabetes, type 2 diabetes, or simply that mid-afternoon energy crash that seems to hit no matter what, this is not a minor benefit. More stable blood sugar means more stable energy, more stable mood, and less burden on the pancreas and liver over time. Belly fat and your metabolism. Here's something that connects what garlic does for blood sugar directly to stubborn belly fat. Important. One of the primary biological reasons adults over 50 accumulate and hold on to fat around the midsection, despite diet and exercise efforts, is chronically elevated cortisol. Cortisol is the body's main stress hormone, and when it stays elevated day after day, the body responds by aggressively storing fat around the abdominal organs. Research suggests garlic may help reduce cortisol levels. As cortisol decreases, the biological trigger for that stubborn midsection fat storage begins to ease. Garlic has also been studied for its effect on metabolic efficiency, essentially how effectively cells convert food into energy. Some researchers describe this as activating a kind of metabolic switch that helps the body burn stored fat more efficiently and regulate hunger signals more accurately. What garlic does for your liver. If you've ever looked into detox or cleansing protocols, here's something worth understanding. The body already has a built-in detoxification system, your liver. And supporting your liver with real, evidence-based nutrition is far more effective than any expensive juice cleanse. Important, garlic is one of the most well-studied liver-supportive foods available. It helps activate the liver's own internal cleaning enzymes and boosts its primary protective antioxidant compound from within. Human studies have shown meaningful reductions in elevated liver markers in people with fatty liver disease, one of the most rapidly growing health conditions in adults over 50, following consistent garlic consumption. If you've ever been told your liver numbers are slightly elevated, or if you consume alcohol regularly, this is one of the most affordable and practical nutritional steps you can take. What garlic does inside your brain. This final benefit is perhaps the most exciting for adults concerned about long-term brain health and cognitive function. Surprising, the active compounds in garlic are small enough to cross the blood-brain barrier, meaning they can pass directly from the bloodstream into brain tissue. Once there, research suggests these compounds help protect brain cells from oxidative damage, reduce neurological inflammation, and may help slow the accumulation of certain protein deposits associated with Alzheimer's disease and age-related cognitive decline. One human study found that garlic supplementation improved memory and cognitive function in older adults with early-stage memory concerns over a 12-month period compared to a placebo group. Important, better blood flow to the brain, reduced brain inflammation, and direct cellular protection, all happening simultaneously every morning from one simple glass of water. The correct way to prepare garlic water. Now let's cover the exact method, because preparation matters enormously here. Start with 1 to 2 raw garlic cloves. Crush them, don't slice, don't mince, and don't chop. Crushing is what triggers the chemical reaction that creates allicin. Important, after crushing, let the garlic rest for a full 10 minutes before doing anything else with it. This is non-negotiable. That window is when the allicin is actively forming. After 10 minutes, add the crushed garlic to about 8 ounces of warm water. Not boiling. Boiling will destroy the allicin before you can absorb it. Warm, room temperature, or even cool water all work effectively. To make it more beneficial and more pleasant to drink, you can add a squeeze of fresh lemon juice, which supports absorption. A small amount of raw honey adds natural antimicrobial properties and improves the flavor considerably. A pinch of black pepper helps the body absorb the active compound significantly more effectively. Drink it first thing in the morning on an empty stomach for the best absorption. If this causes any stomach discomfort, having it alongside a light meal is completely fine and still highly effective. Warning: fresh, raw garlic cloves only. Garlic powder and most garlic pills do not contain meaningful amounts of allicin unless the label specifically states standardized allicin content. What to expect across the 30 days. Here's a realistic week-by-week picture of what many people experience. Days 1 through 5, you may notice stronger breath, possible mild bloating, and perhaps a mild warming sensation in the stomach. All of these are completely normal and typically settle within a few days. Days 6 through 10, energy often begins to shift. That familiar afternoon fatigue may start to ease. Sleep quality tends to improve as stress hormone levels begin to settle. Important, days 11 through 20, this is often when multiple changes become noticeable simultaneously. Reduced joint stiffness, clearer digestion, more stable energy throughout the day, and for many people, a general sense of feeling cleaner and more clear-headed. Days 21 through 30, this is where the cumulative effects compound. 30 consecutive mornings of allicin reaching your heart, arteries, immune system, liver, and brain. If you have access to basic blood work, getting tested before day 1 and again after day 30 often produces numbers that speak more clearly than anything you can feel. One important safety note. Before beginning, there is one important thing to be aware of. Warning: if you currently take blood-thinning medications or aspirin therapy, please speak with your doctor before starting daily garlic water. Garlic's natural blood-thinning properties are real and can amplify the effect of these medications. Similarly, if you have surgery scheduled in the near future, practitioners typically recommend stopping garlic consumption at least 2 weeks beforehand. For the vast majority of healthy adults, garlic water is one of the safest, most extensively studied natural health habits available, with thousands of years of traditional use across dozens of cultures, and a growing body of modern science consistently confirming its benefits. 2 cloves. Less than $1 a day. 30 mornings. Your heart, your arteries, your immune system, your gut, your blood sugar, your liver, and your brain, all moving in a better direction from something that fits in a glass of warm water every morning. If this video gave you something genuinely useful today, that's what we're here for at Senior Nutrition Secrets. We focus on practical, evidence-based health information for adults over 50 who want more energy, more clarity, and more confidence in the choices they make for their health every single day. Please consider subscribing so you don't miss future videos, and share this with someone in your life who could benefit from hearing it. Start tomorrow morning. Crush 2 cloves. Wait 10 minutes. Add warm water. Drink it. 30 days from now, come back and tell us what changed. Thanks for watching.